tired. So, okay, my name is Melinda Carroll, and unfortunately, my residence is 821 Carteret Avenue, Trenton, New Jersey. I really don't do cameras, but I felt like this is a story that needed to be told that a lot of people is going through. So I just needed this story to go out. And I trust PETERSON'S, that's why I called them, because a lot of places is turning their backs when it comes to landlords and tenants. And landlords do have a voice, tenants do have a voice. So, like I said, 821 Carteret Avenue. When is the man? Okay, y'all, who want to go first? Ain't nobody home. You see that black thing? That's our heat. It's mold all on there. I can't stay down here now. I can't go. That's crazy. Illegal.
Oh.
These are heaters. We have to pull out. That's a heater.
So you have space heaters?
Yes, we had to use them because we have to turn the heat off. Once we turn the heat on, it comes up more from the basement. We ain't helling it. So, yeah, my room a mess. I had to pack up to go to the motel.
Okay.
So, now, this is where it all comes. You gotta use the bathroom. Now, the bathroom. Like I said, you're not nasty people. I have to literally go buy stuff to fix. This don't work. As you see, it's not right. That don't work. You gotta turn it off like this. I had to replace the knobs. I had to fix the doors. I'm the maintenance here in the building. They'll tell you. Me and my cane. Okay. The handle on the toilet is broke. This is right here where the heat is coming from. If you go to the bathroom and you really gonna get sick. You really ain't helling it. Let me see all these vents. So it's really coming through the whole house. You know, there's no way around it. All of that over the tree, you can see where it's leaning into the window.
Again?
Okay. Me and my grandson, we on the machine. I have
bronchitis.
Is bronchial asthma, plus I have a heart disease. That's why I get so scared. I have a procedure coming up. And, ooh, okay. And we take the treatment, as you see, my breathing. And I've been inhaling this stuff for 4 months now. My grandbaby mom, Fabiola Robinson, Stephanie Robinson, we all been sending them through the portal, emails, texts, and phone calls. And we have every last one of them. We get hung up on, or they say they didn't receive it, which we screenshotted, or they said that we're not letting the maintenance man in, which is a lie because this is unhealthy. This is unsafe. When the light's going off, you got kids in this building. My grandbaby just turned 6. You don't play with kids' lives. Anything could go wrong. This building could catch on fire. You got neighbors next door with kids. You know what I mean? So I do contact them. Then they want to say, oh, well, are you going to be home? Then I say, I'm here now. Or I'm at my doctor's. Somebody's coming. The one guy showed up. Oh, you're going to be here all day? Yes. Never comes back. I failed. I told them about it leaking. It was leaking through the front door down by the steps. But the hole got worse that day. When was it?
It was around Christmas time.
Around Christmas time, it rained really bad. And sometimes it depends on my knees because I have bad legs too. I have all my paperwork. That's part of my disability. So I got to take my time going down the steps. So this time, holding a cane a lot, get your hand like that. So I'm walking backwards, you know, because my knees. Didn't dawn on me that it was wet, soaking wet. I fell. Wound up going to the hospital. Fell, looked up, the thing got worse. Went to the hospital. They diagnosed me sprained my ankle on top of the leg problems already. I got in touch with them then. They told me what they say. Blah, 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 sob story. Pay your rent for this month. They don't care. I said, look, I don't want to pay you rent till y'all fix stuff up. We've been paying rent ever since we moved here. We was never late on rent until I failed. Even though we had all these problems, even though we've been sending texts, whatever, we still paid the rent because every time we got in situations, this is how Trenton works. When you living on a landlord property, they don't care who you is. The landlord could be wrong. To me, they all work together. They want to say, you pay, you stay. That's it. The judge ain't trying to hear nothing. So when you go in that courtroom, I went to the courthouse. The lady at the courthouse told me, I said, I want to take my landlord to court. That's why I'm here. She said, no, you can't take him to court. You got to wait for him to give you an eviction notice. Then you tell the judge, just make sure you got your rent money. That's all they care about. So I said before things got worse, I want to take him to court. I've been trying. No, they want to put eviction notice on your credit. And then even if y'all work it out or you move, that once that eviction notice hit, that's it. It's still on your credit for the rest of your life. Even though the landlord wrong. But this landlord, I forget, Michael what?
Michael something is the Jewish last name, that's all I know.
They letting all these Jews buy these properties. Not fixing them, charging $1,000, $1,000. All this high money for these property, these tenants paying. With kids. You mean to tell me you can't take out of 12 months, 3 months, 4 months and fix up these properties where they livable? Half of them coming to Trenton, taking the money and don't even live in Trenton. Now it's to a point where you got black mold in the basement. You got two buildings next door. We inhaling this shit for 4 months. 4 months. I'm getting sick. My grandbaby getting sick. It's to a point where now we gotta move. And the only thing this landlord can walk by and say, oh, y'all the cause? No. You have not fixed up nothing. You got two tenants that been complaining about the same thing. You got other tenants suing you. You's a slum landlord, but they keep letting him buy properties. But we the one paying for it. The lights here is hooked up. We don't have no meter. So how we getting a light bill? The lights going on. I mean, you know, do that make sense? That's a fire hazard. The pipe bleeding red. Who ever seen a pipe bleeding out red? Like the pipe got feelings. The pipe understand how I'm feeling. He bleeding for me. It's bleeding out red. That's not normal. But who cares? It's kids here. We just human beings. We just here to pay rent. That's it. Pay his rent. We paying his mortgage. Because he ain't taking the money and fixing up his properties. You got another property on Cleveland. Let me say that. Wait, I don't know. I don't want to say the address, but another property on Cleveland. And go to City Hall. Michael, I got to get his name. He's a Jew. The the boiler just blew up. And it's a child was in that building. 1 o'clock in the morning. The boiler blew up. She's been complaining about the boiler for the longest. Years ago on Sweets Avenue, I had a godson. Her name Keisha, Sweets Avenue. A boiler blew up in that basement. My godson died. These are the landlords we're dealing with. And it's sad. 512 Martin Luther King Boulevard. I called the city. I told them I smelled gas. They came out. They inspected. She had violations. Oh, you got to give her such and such. We moved. After that, week or two, house caught on fire. Wilkinson Place came out. This is what we're dealing with. These type of landlords. And they wonder why we not running to the city hall. You understand? Go, call the inspector. For what? For him to be friends with the landlord? oh, I'm going to give you a pat on the back. I had one landlord walking in on me. Luckily, am I lying?
Nope.
He walking in on me. I had witness. I even had a letter from a friend. He walking in. Then when he realized somebody in the house, he tiptoed back downstairs. We told the inspector, oh, he's a good guy.
Give him a chance.
Give him a chance. This is what I'm dealing with. And they wonder why I'm not running the city hall. You understand what I'm saying? But now it's to a point as of today. We endured all of this, and for the end, we got to leave. And where we going to go? Is the landlord going to put us up? We got to find somewhere to go with kids in the wintertime. It's cold. This is not fair. But yet, think about properties. I'm not blaming the city of Trenton. I'm blaming the landlord. They need to stop letting these landlords buy these properties. They just buying them and not fixing them. Putting a slap on their wrists. People is getting hurt with all these fires going on in Trenton. And now the landlord could go down to the city hall and say, oh, he could go to the courthouse and blame it on the tenant. They need to look up how many tenants complaining about this one landlord. We all can't be wrong. So there's a lot of people, even my neighbor, she want to talk to you, she want to talk. Everybody got a voice. And I say that all the time. Everybody got a story, some just don't tell theirs. I'm to the point, I'm telling my story because I'm tired. I'm tired of these landlords getting over. I hurt myself in this property. This ain't the first property I got hurt on. This not. And I just choose not to with the court thing. When people got problems and health problems or other issues they dealing with, don't nobody got time to be trying to go back and forth to court. They just trying to live. Be content. Live. Especially if you got kids, I got to pick up the kids. I got to do this. Oh, yeah, my bad. I'm paying rent, but I got to go back and forth to court for the judge to tell me, oh, you got to pay him his money. Even though I'm living fucked up, I still got to pay you your money. That's crazy. Like, we got free money. You got people work out here that's struggling. They don't have money, just hand over to a landlord. In that case, we all need to buy property. And can't fix it up. Let me buy some property. Because I can't do nothing. But I'll take your money. Because that's what it is. Greed and selfish. And I can't stand selfish people. I'm sorry. But yeah, I just need to... I call because, you know what? It's ridiculous. We living like this. And when they condemn the building, we can't even stay here. This smell is terrible. You smell this? This smell is terrible. You got feces in the basement. You flush the toilet, it's running in the basement. That is, the door of the basement is open. That's nasty. That is some nasty mess. Seriously. And then you got a baby. You got one, two. Well, we got one up here. Two. You got kids. They got kids downstairs. And hers by the basement, which is worse. You smell it all the way on the third floor. They inhaling it. Black mold is one of the dangerous mold. It's deadly. You got mold down there. You got rust down there. Public service came out. Plumber came out. Sewer came out. Inspector came out. You understand? And all of them. 12, 1, 3 o'clock in the morning. This building, the plumber didn't even want to stay in the building. He said, respiratory, you need a whole team to clean that building. That basement. He said, that's going to be like thousands of dollars. You just a tenant. Ma'am, this building is, what's the word?
Inhabitable.
He said this building inhabitable. Y'all need to get out this building. You need to tell your landlord. We call the landlord. What he doing? Hanging up.
Right.
He hanging up on us. Like, what more we got to go through? We going through enough. Bad enough we inhaling it. Bad enough we've been paying you rent since we moved here. Bad enough you won't send a maintenance man. Bad enough we got to go in the basement. The lights keep turning off and we got to live here scared. Ain't going to know when the house going to catch on fire. But yet, you can't even answer the phone call. We called the right people. If you ain't know who to call, we call them. We telling you what you need to do. Now, we've been here how long?
9 months.
9 months. You collecting rent. So take some money out of that rent for 9 months. Get the certified people in here. You want your rent every month. But the law is you don't pay rent by the 5th of the month, you late. What's the law for the landlords? If they don't fix up something, we get a pat on the back, we're going to extend you a warranty, you got an extra 30 days. And then guess what? They want to do a funeral, which costs how much? They ain't even helping you with that, but this the city of Trenton. But, you know, it's sad. It's terrible, and not everybody live nasty. And for people that got health problems, this is unsanitary. Not just for me, for anybody. Black mold, rust, sewer, you got manure in there, pee in there, and you got to go down there when the lights get turned off to flick it back on and walk in that mess. Not only is you breathing it, you bringing it back on your clothes and on your shoes because you walked in the basement. Then you're around your child. You got to tell, if you're in the house with the baby by yourself, you got to say, wait a minute. You got to leave this child in this house. Even though it's wrong, you got to leave this child in this house in the dark to go downstairs to the basement if ain't nobody here but you and that baby. It ain't his fault, but you got to leave him in the house and he can't tell you if the lights are on or not. This is crazy. So yeah, I'm really pissed off. I'm just really pissed off. Slum landlords. People need to open up their mouth and start saying who they are, call Trenton Peterson breaking news, and report them. By you not saying nothing and letting it go by, that's why they getting away with it. So that's all I got. I'm just pissed off right now. We all got problems. Don't nobody want to deal with this. When we come to look for a place to live, we want to be content with our family. That should be our least worry. I paid you to live here to be comfortable, to feel safe. So now I can worry about the other stuff I'm dealing with in life.
It's been a lot because I go to work, and so it's very frustrating. You come home and there's more problems you're finding out about this house, the sewer or the lights, or it's always something else. And then when you do complain to him, I read the texts. He's like, okay, or he'll tell his staff, oh, we're not important. I mean, for him to have that kind of attitude, and then for him to come here today to tell my aunt that his ignorant behind said, for him to say that we're the cause of the sewer thing, and it was already here. We just didn't realize it until we turned the heat on. And that's the scary part right there. We didn't even know.
And what happens when you turn the heat on?
That's when we're inhaling it. That's when the sewer thing, whatever that's down there, the black mold, all that's coming through the vents.
4 months, October.
So that really pissed me off.
And
he walking away, going to his car because he know he's wrong. There's not more he could say. And to know that a lot of people are suing him right now, we're not the only ones that feeling some type of way towards him, and to know that somebody else fell on his property as well, we're not the only ones that got hurt or harmed. You know, I don't understand why landlords like him get away with it, or why they're able to even buy property in the first place. It makes you wonder, like, they must be doing bribery up in there in Trenton. They gotta be. Some kind of judge was bribing, just like another place we lived at, when they was taking people to Section 8 away from them, on purpose. And you could tell just by the judge saying, talk about we need a bank statement that he down with the company of the people who own all them properties. You could
Academy Place.
Oh yeah, Academy Place.
A money order is not a receipt.
And they're affiliated with other companies, like Rush Crossing. It start with an A. It's a street. Or something.
Clinton Avenue.
Hanover.
Okay.
And then the one on Oberlin Shopping Center for the elderly people.
It's sad.
It is sad. It seems like every time we move, we just wind up with a worse and worse landlord.
Yep.
In Trenton.
Yep.
When you think they're gonna do great, and then you live in their houses, they look nice, and then you live in their properties, it's something always going wrong. You complain to them, they say, oh, they'll get to you, or some kind of lame excuse, and they never come back to you. Or when you do call to help us.
What about the roaches coming out the refrigerator? Oh my goodness!
Oh, yeah, that's right, the roaches. They're real bad in the kitchen and in the bathroom, which makes sense, but we've been complaining to them about the pest problem.
But out the refrigerator? Who have roaches coming out their refrigerator? That's not normal. Especially when you're a clean person. That's the crazy part.
And then the refrigerator it acts up. It has before they put this new one, I forgot what the problem was.
I really wish I would have took the pictures.
It was leaking. and it would get our food wet. Or it would really get our food in the back frozen.
Refrigerator work when it want to work.
Tell me about the electricity within the kitchen. So how you can't have one thing on at another time.
Oh, in other words, let me show you. In the morning, my grandbaby get up, and he's 6 years old. You gotta feed the children. So therefore, you gotta unplug the microwave. You can only plug up 3 things in the kitchen, as you see. Now, you gotta unplug the microwave, and he just got this, because you gotta unplug this, move this toaster over here. Then of course, you know, this the deep freezer. You gotta unplug this. You gotta turn this off. Unplug this. I mean, not this. You gotta unplug the deep freezer. Then plug up the toaster. If you don't do that, the whole house going out, even downstairs. So we call public service, and we ask public service, first of all, how do we get a bill every month? It's no meter. So, I don't know if you want me to show you on the phone, but how y'all send us a bill is no meter. Now, my grandbaby mom, Fabiola, she reported that, and they came out. They supposed to have been investigated. But after that, we got light bills. Once again, how we get a light bill if there's no meter?
Right.
Now, so now, I went down there because I'm not understanding it. You sent us a shut-off notice. But we've been telling y'all how we get a light bill almost $500 and something. They barely be here. You can't plug up really nothing. The electricity go out, and there's no meters. So, what's the problem? Like 1 + 1 is 2. I can't understand how you get a light bill with no meter. And if they come out, public service, and go in the basement, if they say the meter outside, no, I took pictures. We got a box, but the meter is empty. So I go in the basement a lot with them because we have to turn the lights on. It's no meter down there. And if public service came out and you just built me, why didn't you report that basement like that? Sewer. How can you take that smell? But yet y'all send us a light bill. But yet, you still gotta unplug stuff, and we explain to them, you gotta unplug stuff. What house does that? So not only that, God forbid, if nobody was to come out, or this wasn't happening due to me staying up 2 or 3 nights because I'm scared to turn the heater on, because you can't turn the thing on unless you smell it. So we gotta be cold. So I gotta turn electric heaters on, plug them up, and then the lights go out again, then it went out again, plug it up. But I can't sleep because we plug in electrical heaters that's illegal to catch on fire. The building already going out. I love my family. So somebody got to be up. So at the end of the day, how we get a light bill? Again, no meter. I'm not understanding this.
Right.
But yet the dude said, no, I went to public service. They said, well, we're going to investigate. I actually showed them the picture. Like, I'm going to show you the picture. People say one thing, but you got to see for yourself. She only worked there. I'm showing you the picture. It ain't no meter. I went in the basement, inhaling the stuff even worse, getting sick behind it, just to record the public service. Is no meter. But yet, what if this house catch on fire? Then what? Y'all gonna have a lawsuit. People's lives is taken or whatever because nobody ain't doing their job. So yes, we live in a house. You can't cook for your family unless you unplug your deep freezer or you unplug your microwave. This right here, don't turn it on because it's all going to go out. And then we got to go in the basement and inhale the mold and everything else, you know, because we want to eat. So that's all I'm just saying. For a motel. I just told told the lady on Social Security, I'm glad y'all put my money because we have to leave. We have to pay for a motel. And what if we would have gave the landlord the money for rent for this month, for tomorrow? Then what? And we ain't have no money. But yet we can't stay in this house unless we're going to inhale the stuff. But the city said we can't stay here. Then what we going to do? But the city ain't going to help us. But they going to help the landlord. They'll give you the money. Bring it to my courtroom. Who helping the tenants? Am I right or wrong though? Who helping the tenants? Who helping the people who paying these landlords? People work hard for their money. They ain't got no money just to give away. Well, you know, we wrong. And my grandma, Elizabeth Burris, she owned her own house. And my grandma had taught me well. And this is not how people supposed to live. This is not normal. This is not. Then you got houses that's connected to other houses. Like how you rent and don't care about people and their families. That's evil. How you take money every day and go home and sleep at night and don't care how these people living with these kids, even if they don't have kids. How you not care or have a heart to care about your tenants.